Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and today we'll be playing Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition, and today we're playing with Vergil in Legendary Dark Knight mode part 1. Now Legendary Dark Knight mode is basically where they throw like a bunch of hordes at you of enemies. I actually quite like this mode more than Dante Must Die because I'm not dying as much, but I actually quite find it fun. Oh, and the costume I just chose is also in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, which is also a really fun fighting game you should try as well.
The Order of the Sword, huh? They worship a demon as a god. Just what are your true intentions?
Alright, so for the first mission will be a boss fight, which is basically Dante. There isn't any dialogue with him when you play with other characters, but I do know there is when you play with like Nero and stuff. Now he isn't so bad, you really gotta time him, because if he isn't shooting you, sometimes he'll hit you with the sword. And then to build up the score even more, you just go over here and get the benches.
Show me your motivation.
And then it's simple just like that. And it varies here and there. So like sometimes you get an S the first few times, second time you may get an A. It really just depends. Now, my recommendation for like big groups of enemies for this, I would use the Yamato and the Oblivion. I think it's called Dual Swords or Sword's Edge, something like that, I think. And you can also destroy benches and stuff, basically anything that's breakable to get more gold orbs, because at the end of the missions they also count those as points as well. Now, in this room, in the first playthrough, like the very first time you play the game, usually there's a gold orb up here, but since there isn't now, because I've already collected it. Now, gold orbs are hard to find on here compared to like DMC4, where you can just basically log in every day and get them. But on here, you can't really do that. Like, you actually got to go look for them. Oh, and this game also has secret missions, just like I guess any other Devil May Cry. So usually they'll be here when you complete them. They're just there to redo. And then sometimes if you can't see them, sometimes they're in plain sight, or sometimes they're hidden, so you gotta destroy things to find them. Or with, I think it's with Nero, you can actually find them due to his arm. His arm does like this little glowy thing or whatever, kind of the same with like other orbs. And once it glows, and then once you get close enough to it, I think the controller will vibrate. I know it. I think it did for me. I want to say it did. And once that happens, you can basically complete it. Same way with like orbs and stuff. Now for this next part, I use the dual sword so that way I can basically clear out this whole area because there's so many of them. And I think up here, like probably in this area or something like that, there's usually a gold door. I want to say there was. Now in here are these things right here. You can destroy them to get like a bunch of gold orbs. Not gold orbs, Lord. Red orbs. But each color is for certain characters. So blue is for Nero and Vergil, red is for Dante and Trish, and I think white is just for Lady. And if you try to attack them without the right characters, it won't let you do it at all. And then you'll get those. And also, I didn't explain something earlier. So at the end of each mission, you get these things called Proud Souls. And you get to upgrade your skills, character movement, basically abilities, and devil trigger and all of that stuff. And then also too, if you buy a skill, you can also refund them. So for example, like that, and then you can just buy the skill back. And then also you can use your red orbs to buy items and stuff as well, but I don't think you can buy gold orbs. I think that's the only thing you can't buy. But I'll look at it and actually see, because I think you can actually can. And for him, I just usually use Vergil because it keeps him from possibly hitting me, but if he doesn't hit me, the fire will. And that's the only downside about him. Now, see, he isn't so bad, depending on who you play with, really. Did pretty good. On to the next mission. Now these guys, they aren't so bad, but it's one with like this cowboy hat that is like the worst. I gotta wait for it to come back up. Now these pillars that are here, you can destroy them and you'll get green orbs for them, which is basically to heal you without having to use an item. I recommend trying to find as many green orbs as you can so that you can keep you from having to use an item, because on here for some odd reason using super skins and items, they penalize you really hard for it, and I'm not quite sure why, because I know in DMC5 they don't penalize, well actually they don't have items in the 5th one, but I do know that they penalize you pretty hard if you have to use multiple revives. Now these guys aren't so bad, you just gotta stay on them really. Keep them from trying to shoot these ice spikes at you, or basically just trying to re-heal. Because they have a move where they re-heal basically, and then they burst out the ice, and I think it freezes you. It may or may not. Like 1 or 2 isn't bad, but like when you're in like a group, it can be a little difficult trying to watch all of them at once. Now, the castle level isn't so bad. The only thing about it is you're just doing a lot of backtracking. Basically, you're going back to areas that you went to before that you couldn't access, and then you're just basically going through them. That's really all it is, honestly. And then up here, you can destroy all the chairs and stuff to just get red orbs. I don't know why I keep saying gold orbs. Out of all the stuff to say, I keep saying gold. So now, we're gonna go into this room. Also, another thing too about this castle is every time you come in and out of the area, you're basically gonna get hit with enemies, regardless of your difficulty. So we gotta give it 2 of these blades here, basically. So all we gotta do is find the torture chamber. That's really all we gotta find, which is actually back this way. I don't know why I'm going that way. Nope, wrong room. Here we are. This is where we need to get to. So now for this part, honestly, it's all about timing. That's the whole thing about this part. Because if you time it right, you can get across perfectly fine. But if you don't, you can either drop or you can hit the spikes on top. And I got across on the first try, which is usually rare for me. And now we're back. Actually, no. Actually, now we're upstairs. I take that back. And you can come up here, you can collect items. And now we gotta go down through here. Just to give you all a heads up, usually when you take the central courtyard route, it's gonna be a ton of enemies like so. Usually I run away, but I'm actually gonna fight him this time, just so it could help with my score. Sure, I'm gonna say you're just not gonna go home. And I think down here is another one of those statue things that we can destroy. Yep, there it is. There we go. And then now we just go on the other side of the courtyard, which will take us to the other part of the room that we were just at. Which will if I'm correct, this side will actually take us to the library, which is where we need to get to in order to get the items for the blades down below. And I think it's this room, the gallery, that we gotta go through. Yep. What? What is happening? Wait. No. Why is it? I must have been trying to hit it. That's probably why I was saying that. And now if we come through here, Basic will be at the library. For these guys, it's usually easier to catch them in the air so that way they can fall unless they do that move. But if you catch them in time before they do that move, then it should be good when you catch them in the air. Pretty good. We're doing pretty good so far, guys. Alrighty. So now that we have the item, now we're basically gonna go get the 2 missing blades. And I think there's a boss fight in this mission as well, if I'm not mistaken. Now, sometimes with these things, you have to hit them close enough to your target, and then you can send them off. But if not, they're just basically gonna bounce off the walls and hit everything else in where you want them to go. So now that we're back in the gallery, we're gonna use the one that's in here to basically help us knock out the enemies. And then for this one, I'm gonna use dual blades as well. much easier that was. I highly recommend if there's a blade nearby you, use it in combat because it'll save you a lot of time. So now we're back in here. Basically, we're just gonna jump off the balcony and then knock the blade into the coffin. And now we're gonna go over here to this door. And we're gonna get a blade to destroy that door, and then we're gonna get 2 blades basically over here, and then the very last one will be in that room over there. So we're gonna get this one. We're just gonna send it down that hallway. And to speed up the process, you can just shoot it and send it down. There we go. And then we're gonna get this one, shoot this one up as well, send it down there. And there we go. And so now we're gonna go down here and we're gonna go back into the dining room, I think it was. Yeah. Now this is the thing I was talking about earlier with the hat. This guy, he moves a lot and he uses, his blades are a lot more deadly, I'll put it that way. You can also knock him out of his phone, but usually it's just easier if you can get him in the air. Now that hallway has a fireball shooter, I guess that's what I'll call it. We're gonna have to use the blade and send it flying down there to basically protect us and to destroy that thing. Which will now lead us into that large room, I think is what it's called. It may have a different name, but it's basically gonna lead us into here with another blade. Large hall, that's what it's called. It's gonna lead us in here with another blade, and I'm gonna use that in combat because we're gonna face a bunch of those soldier guys, angel soldiers, I'm gonna call them that. And then they have one of these guys, this dude right here. He basically he teleports in and out, but it's hard to pinpoint him because he shoots out electricity. The only way to really get him is when he powers down, which he does, but it's very rare. And that's partially why I'm using the blade as well, so that way I can try and focus on him, so that way I don't get hit so much. Because now that he's charged back up, he's probably, yeah, that move that he just pulled, if he hits you with that, no, he's turning red. Also, too, if he turns red and he gets you, it's twice as more damage. Like how he's doing now. At some point, he explodes, I think. I don't know if he's gonna do it. Yeah, he just did it. So that grab move he just did before he exploded is basically like a one-hit kill type thing. And if you can't get out of it, you're basically screwed. But since I had enough double trigger to get out of it, I didn't die. So thank goodness for that. And now, I gotta get this thing out of here. And now that we got the final blade, we're gonna just throw it on over here. If I can get it there. There we go. And now, on to the boss fight. The only thing about these things is you gotta watch them so they don't freeze you. That's the only thing about it. I know after a while, if you hit them enough, they turn red. Also, too, if you EC, you can just use double trigger to get out of it. And I usually just use Beowulf on him as well. Same with Burial. Honestly, I use Beowulf on just about all of the bosses. It really just depends on who it is, honestly. I didn't die. And that's the number one thing, is I didn't die. Because usually whenever he does that, I'm gonna call it eating move, it ends up usually killing me whenever he pulls that move. Mm-hmm. Alright, now that's a little much. Oh, where did I fall to? There we go. Oof. Fighting a group of them things, man.
They're finished.
And you can destroy these things to get red and green orbs. And that should be all of them. And I think in here, yep, it is a secret mission. So whenever you play it, there'll be one in here. So now we're on the other side of the torture chamber. And we gotta hit this to basically get it across. Because now we're gonna use this to knock the hole into the floor down below. I don't think you can fall from this platform, so you should be good. Oh, it already went. So now we're going to use this talisman to basically get out of here. Now these doors and stuff, I have never been able to figure out how to break them. So if you ever figure it out, please let me know down in the comments, because I've been trying to figure out how to do that for a long time. Oh, wow. Ooh, wait. That was a lot. That is the wrong room. Ah, it's not this one. Here we go. That's a good way to end a good mission. Alrighty. I'm gonna save here.
Devil may cry.
Well, guys, that's it for today. And tune in next time for part 2. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.